In this village, hidden within the mist, time is not measured by the sun's rising, but by the hurried, rhythmic footsteps of a man named Eris. Eris, the village postman, has spent his entire life running. He believes that every second lost is a part of himself that he can never reclaim. His breath comes in sharp gasps against the freezing mountain air. To him, the ticking of the clock is a whip driving him forward into the unknown. He delivers news to others but never stops to hear their stories. His life is a blur of paper and ink, a race against an invisible ghost. In his mind, if he stops for even a moment, the world will move on without him, leaving him forgotten in the silence of the high peaks. The mountains watch him with a silent, ancient gaze. They have seen centuries pass, yet Eris treats every minute as if it were his very last. He is a prisoner of the schedule he created, a man bound by the hands of a clock that cares nothing for the beauty surrounding his path. The villagers know him only by the sound of his arrival and the dust he leaves behind. He is the ghost of urgency in a peaceful land. He carries the burdens of 1,000 voices in his bag, yet his own voice has been lost to the constant rhythm of his pounding heart. He has forgotten where he is going, only knowing that he must get there fast. The destination has become less important than the speed of travel. The path leads through valleys of gold, where mustard blossoms dance in the breeze. It is a sight that should bring peace to any weary soul. We often mistake the weight of our responsibilities for the essence of living. Eris walks through beauty, but he never truly sees the vibrant color. His shoulder aches under the mounting pressure of the world's demands. Every letter is a stone, and every stone is a debt he must pay. The exertion is taking its toll. His body screams for a moment of rest, but his mind refuses to listen to the plea of his bones. How many of us are like Eris, surrounded by the abundance of life, yet too occupied with our burdens to taste the sweetness of the air? Then, the inevitable happens. The earth reaches up to claim its due. A single root, a momentary lapse, and the momentum of decades is broken. The silence that follows his fall is deafening. For the first time in years, the sound of his footsteps has ceased to echo through the valley. His first instinct is fear. Fear of being late, fear of failure. A fear that his entire existence has been undone by a simple, clumsy stumble. He is a man holding on to fragments of a life he no longer understands. The letters are stained with dust, just like his weary, exhausted spirit. In this moment of collapse, the world does not end. The sun continues to shine, and the flowers continue to bloom, indifferent to his frantic struggle. Bruised and shaken, he finds himself wandering off the beaten path, drawn by a sound he had never noticed before, the soft whisper of water. He discovers a lake so still it seems to hold the breath of the universe. It is a place where the wind stops to listen. As he leans down to drink, he sees a stranger staring back at him. A man with hollow eyes and a spirit worn thin by needless haste. Sitting by the shore is a traveler who seems to belong to the silence itself. He does not move, yet he possesses a power Eris lacks. Eris prepares to apologize for his intrusion, to explain his hurry, to justify the weight of the bag he carries so desperately on his shoulder. But the traveler speaks first, his voice like the low hum of a distant bell. "My friend, why do you hurry to erase your own face?" The question hangs in the air, heavier than any bouquin. Eris has no answer, for he has not looked at his face in years. The old man smiles gently and tosses the stone into the center of the lake. Eris watches as the perfection of the water is broken. "Look," the traveler says. "That's when the water is disturbed, you cannot see who you are. Your busyness is the stone that keeps your soul hidden." He explains that when the mind is a storm of tasks, we only see the fragments of our lives, never the beauty of the whole picture. Only in stillness can the truth be revealed. Only when we stop running can the world finally catch up to us and share its secrets. For the first time in his life, Eris feels the weight of the bag not as a duty, but as a choice he no longer wishes to make. The day begins to fade, and with it, the frantic energy that has fueled Eris for so long. The evening brings a different kind of light. He lets himself sink into the earth. He realizes that the ground has always been there to support him, if only he had stopped to notice. One by one, he releases the burdens. He sets the heavy bag on the ground, and for the first time his shoulders feel light and free. The world did not stop because he sat down. The mail did not disappear, but its power over his soul was suddenly and completely broken. He sees a man who has traveled far, not in distance, but in time. He sees a man who is finally ready to meet himself. The traveler hands him a final bouquin, a simple white envelope, light as a feather, yet seemingly containing the weight of a lifetime's worth of peace. "This is the last letter you need to deliver," the traveler whispers. "But the recipient is not in the village. The recipient is sitting right here." How many words have we sent to others, while leaving our own hearts in a state of perpetual, lonely silence? We are the messengers of ourselves. The blank page is a mirror. It is an invitation to write a new story, one where the main character is allowed to breathe and to be. In the emptiness of that letter, Eris finds his voice. He realizes that silence is not the enemy of productivity. It is the source of all wisdom. He understands that he is a part of the vastness, a part of the stillness. He no longer needs to run to prove his own existence. The clock has lost its rhythm. Time has become a wide, open ocean instead of a narrow, frantic river. Eris has finally arrived at his destination. He has spent years delivering the words of others, but tonight, he finally listens to the message his own soul has been trying to send him. Morning arrives with a gentle touch. Eris walks back toward the village, but he is no longer the man who left it just yesterday. He stops to feel the texture of the world, and he notices the way the dew clings to the blossoms and the way the air smells of earth. He sees the people now. He looks into their eyes and shares a moment of connection that is worth more than 1,000 delivered letters. He is still a postman, but his mission has changed. He delivers more than just paper. He delivers presence, kindness, and a sense of shared humanity. He realized that treating himself with gentleness was the most important delivery he could ever make. The world didn't crumble when he slowed down. Instead, the world became clearer, more vivid, and infinitely more beautiful. He found that by doing less, he was actually living much, much more. Every breath is a gift he finally accepts. He has stopped fighting against time and has started dancing with it in the light of day. The letter to himself is finished, but its message will be lived every single day. He has become his own most cherished and honored recipient. The road ahead is still long, but Eris is no longer afraid of the distance. He knows that every step is the destination itself. In our modern world of noise and speed, we are all weary messengers. We carry bags filled with expectations and deadlines that are not ours. Stop racing. Time is not an opponent to be defeated, but a companion to be embraced. Your life is not a race to be won. Remember that your value does not lie in how fast you can run, but in your ability to be fully present in this very moment. Find your own still lake. Look into its depths and see the beauty that has always been there, waiting for the ripples of hurry to fade. Be gentle with yourself. You are the most important message you will ever deliver. Slow down, breathe, and find yourself again in the stillness. The answers you seek are not at the end of the road, but in the quiet space between your heartbeats. Live fully, right here, right now.